Here in front of us today is a 2016 Dodge Ram 1500 equipped with a Hemi 5.7 liter engine. Behind the 5.7 liter Hemi is an 8 HP 70 transmission. Today we're going to be changing out the transmission on this truck. This model of the Ram 1500 is the 4th generation, made from 2009 to 2019. If you find this video helpful, please head on over to our website, zhpgarage.com, and get yourself some merchandise. We have hats, t-shirts, work shirts, stickers, and right now we're giving away free merchandise with every order. Let's get this truck pulled into the shop and get started.
So today I am doing a transmission in a Dodge Ram. So I'm just going to disconnect the negative side of the battery, and this one here is just a 10 millimeter on the battery terminal. We're going to tuck it down here so it will stay and doesn't pop back up and make contact. So now we have that done. Now we're going to lift the vehicle up. We got it up to a comfortable working height for me. I put some stabilizer jacks on the front and the rear just because it's a 4-door truck. So I'm going to start by taking out the drive shaft. We got 4 15 millimeter bolts here. Make sure you give it a hold. You take that last one out there, you don't want it to fly down and hit you. It is normally stuck on there though. So we're gonna use a screwdriver, come in here and pop it off the rear end. So I'm gonna take a rag to set the drive shaft on the slip yoke. So I have a pan down here to catch any fluid, because it can, more than likely, it's gonna leak out when I pull the drive line out of the slip yoke. So next I'm gonna unplug the harness here to the transfer case. I'm gonna be taking off the transfer case next. So we got a little locking tab. And once you get the locking tab back, you can push on the release tab on the top here. Man, definitely has dirt in there. All right, so now that I got the harness disconnected, I got a little hook tool here. I'm gonna come in and get the little alligator clips off of the transfer case here, pop the harness out. Got that one there, we got another one up here. And then when the harness comes over the top of the transfer case, there's another one right here on the back side here. Plugs in. So now that we got the harness off the transfer case, we can swing it over here out of the way. There's one on the tranny, on the back of the tranny. Get the one with the tranny. So now we'll get the harness over here out of the way. It's just easier just to drain the fluid out of it. It only takes like a little over a quart, 2 quarts. It's not very much. I'm gonna drain the fluid just to be cleaner. So I'm gonna take the fill off first. We still have our catch can or catch pan down here. So I take that out so it doesn't chug as it drains. And then once we get the drain loosened up, I'm gonna grab my pan, get it up here closer so I can catch the fluid when it comes out. I can go ahead and tighten it back up. You don't wanna get crazy on this because it's just an aluminum plug and aluminum case. So you just get it snug and then just go a little bit more. And if it leaks afterwards, you can always tighten it up a little bit more. So I got 4 15 millimeters on the front drive line. You don't want it to drop down and hit you in the head. So the front drive line slides into the transfer case. It's kind of like a CV style. So it's gonna have a clip on the inside. So it has this dust boot on here, and you can see that this boot needs to come off. So it has the little CV style clamps. So you could try to save it. So we're just gonna pry on the bottom side here with a screwdriver. Just pop this up. Now we got it up, we can grab it with a pair of pliers. We grab it and kind of pull up on it off the hooks. So we're gonna set this aside, reuse it. We'll try to reuse it. If not, you can just put a zip tie on here. All you're doing is keeping the dust out. It's not a crazy deal. So we're just pop the boot off, and then we'll grab the axle here, just slide the whole thing out. We'll go put it off to the side with the other rear drive line. So before I can finish up taking the transfer case off, I need to get this crossover exhaust out of the way first. I want to take it off first. So I'm going to spray the bolts, the hardware, with some penetrating oil here. All right, so we got to get this U-clamp loosened up, and the nuts are tight. Sometimes you can sneak in here with a pry bar and try to pry it over. You can't get much leverage. Oh, there it is. All right, so we got the 2 collector bolts here on the manifold. So we have a nut. So these are 14 millimeter. I'm gonna try to hold the nut. Come in here with my impact, little wobbly socket. So by undoing the bottom one, which is easier to get to, it takes the tension off the upper one. And if by all chance, I can just come in here with my hand, take the top one off, because now there's no tension on it. So we have 2 O2 sensor harnesses on both banks. So this is the post O2 here in the back, and then this is the pre O2. So I gotta get my hand up here and unplug this thing. So we got the back one here. This is the post O2, and there's just a lock right here. So there's no locking clip for the lock. So you just have to push that down, and you see by pushing it down, releases it out of the cavity to release the connectors. The pre one has a little tab that holds it into the transmission. Hold this tab up. See right here, it comes out, and you pretty much got to go up there by braille. So we got the O2 sensors unplugged. You can see that the lock, and if you're wondering, how do you know which one's which when you plug them back in? So you can see that the side is the same. The pre-O2 or pre-cat O2 is offset and the post cat O2 is centered. So now that we're back on this side, on the passenger side, we're gonna unplug the transmission here, the harness on the transmission. So we're gonna use our same tool, pop the harness out of the transmission here. Got a couple of them. Got nothing to pry against, so we're gonna sneak a screwdriver handle up in here. Give me something to pry against. Get that thing popped out of there. Gotta get all these off of here because the engine harness stays with the vehicle. Sometimes these are gonna be hard and brittle. No matter what you do, they're gonna break. So don't get frustrated if they wind up breaking on you. The transmission harness here, just a cam lock. So you see it's got this little lever right here. So that just goes up and it's gonna pull the harness out of the transmission and unlock it. You just gotta work with it because it's gonna be, you know, full of dirt just like everything else. So once you get it fully released, just give it a wiggle. You can get it out. See, this is the lever that I was pulling on. So when we go back together with this, we want to make sure to blow all this out with air. So because of the age of the vehicle and the style of this clamp, when he tightens it up, it pinches the inner tube around the outer tube. And normally you can work it loose. So if you twist this, you can get it to work loose and come apart. This thing's not coming apart. Just because we have the option that we're gonna cut it back here where we have room with the Sawzall, and then when we go back together, we're gonna weld it back together, back in. So if you don't have that option, you're gonna have to do a lot of fighting. So you're gonna come in here with a chisel or something, try to expand this pipe, get it to open up so you can get it split apart. But the whole intent is this is supposed to slide off of your exhaust pipe so you can take off the H pipe, or the Y pipe here, crossover. So I'm gonna cut it here where I have enough room to weld it back together. This hanger will hold the exhaust. This portion will come with me. So I think right here is a good spot. Make sure when you're cutting it, you got a hold of the pipe, because when I finished cutting through it, it came right out. All right, so now that I have the exhaust out of the way, I'm gonna drain the fluid on the transmission. Even if you recycle this or send it back as a core, they never want fluid in it. So it's easier just to drain it now. So I got a bucket here underneath. We have a 10mm Allen for the drain. Probably gonna make a mess. Not too bad. I had a pre-mess trying to get it out. So now I got the majority of the fluid drained out. We're gonna put the plug back in it, get it to stop dripping. This is plastic on plastic here. So it says on the plug 8 Newton meters. So now we got the tranny jack moved over here. We're gonna take the transfer case off next, but we gotta get the crossmember out of the way. So we're gonna use a tranny jack. If you're doing this on the ground, you have to be careful because this pan's plastic. This has a bigger surface, but you wanna put a couple pieces of wood on the pan to try to support it to make it even pressure. So you want to be more towards the front of the transmission. So it looks pretty good there. Jack it up a little. See, we're picking up the transmission mount here. So we have 3 nuts in here, 15mm we're gonna take out. See the transmission mount lift it up so we know we're fully supported. So now I'm gonna take out the 4 bolts for the crossmember. They have a nut on the other side, and these are all 18mm. And a little tech tip, leave one of the bolts in it on this side, so when you take this side apart, it doesn't come flying down on you. Now that you're able to support it with one hand, pull the bolts all the way out. No extra charge for the dirt. Then we're just gonna pry it out of here. Use a flat bladed screwdriver or small pry bar, work it out. So now we're gonna take the transmission mount off. So we have 4 15mm. We get down to that last one, make sure you hold the mount. So now we're gonna take the transfer case off. So there's 6 nuts that go around here. So we gotta take the mount off because one of the nuts is actually right here on the bottom. So this is the easiest one to get to. So I like to save this one for last. So I'm gonna start here, work my way all around. So these are all 14mm. So I just use a stubby 14. Which, yeah, it makes it hard to break them loose. It gives you enough room. Here I could use a standard length, but on top up here, the shorter one works better. There's a seal on the input of the transfer case and a seal on the output of the transmission. If they are leaking, this can fill up with tranny fluid and then it'll leak. It's easier just to put a bucket here and not need it than it is not to have one there and need it. So I'm gonna go ahead and put my hand on the transfer case on the back here because we have studs. So if I just put pressure on it and hold it to the transmission, then I know I could take this last nut off and not worry about it just flying off of here and getting crazy. So I probably should have grabbed a normal length wrench, but I already had this in my hand. Once you get it broke loose, they come off. So we're gonna hold it up here. This is the last nut. And then what you wanna do before you take that nut all the way off is you just reach around. We already unplugged it. We got our harness over here. We have a breather up here, but it comes with the transfer case right here. So that breather's gonna come with it. So you just wanna make sure nothing's gonna hinder you from pulling this off once you take that last nut off of there. So as we get the last nut off, I'm gonna come to the back of the transfer case and I'm gonna push up on it to break it free and see if we got any leaks. Okay, so we're not leaking anything, so that's good. We don't need the bucket. So I'm gonna get underneath it here. I'm gonna put one hand on this side, one hand on this side, and I'm gonna hold this thing. It's gonna be a little heavier in the front than the out. So it might try to nosedive on you. So try to get this hand in the middle. I like to grab these ribs. I'll put it so I can actually get a hold of it. Make sure I'm not gonna trip on nothing. I'm gonna pull the transfer case off. Just bring it down. This is why I like to drain the fluid in it, because sometimes I need to maneuver it into a way that it's gonna have fluid coming out of the back, and I don't want it leaking on me as I'm trying to maneuver it. So now I'm just gonna drop the transmission, but down a little bit here in the back, just so I can get to the upper bell housing bolts a little easier. So let's give it a little tilt. About like so, and then now I'm gonna work my way down. I like to just go around the transmission. So this line here, I think we got one more clip on top for this line, holding this line on. So we'll get this line all the way out of the way. I'm gonna take this nut off right here. We got a 13 millimeter that holds these cooler lines. Got a 13 here also that holds the cooler line. We have 2 up top here for this bracket. So this bracket is part of the harness here, so we're just gonna leave that there. It's not gonna hurt anything. So now we wanna get these bell housing bolts. So we have one right here, bell housing bolt here. We have one here that comes in from the other side, and then one down here that comes in from the other side, and then a couple around the bottom here. So I'm just gonna start at the top. These are all 14 millimeter. So the ones from the front, I was wrong. They're 15 millimeter. So I got a little air ratchet here, and that holds this cooler line here. So that's out of the way now. So I'm just gonna use a full length wrench on the bottom. The lower ones are 15 millimeter also. I think I can sneak my ratchet in here. Got one more hiding here. So behind the bracket, 15 millimeter. So now we have all the bolts off of this side. We have our cooler lines, our harness, everything's free. So we're good over here. So now we're gonna go to the other side. So first we're gonna get the shifter out of the way. So we have a 13 millimeter here on the shifter arm. So we got 2 T40 Torx for the shifter cable bracket. Take those out. These normally have Loctite on them, and they're gonna be tight the whole way coming out. So now I'm gonna take this bracket off. Once I get this bolt out, it has a bracket that holds this clip in. So I'm gonna start with this one, get the shifter out of the way. So these are 15 millimeters here. We got 2 of them. So we'll get the shifter off to the side, take our other 15 out. We have 3 18 millimeters up top here. All right, so now I'm gonna get the 15 here that goes from the front side, and then we have the 2 starter bolts. This is why we disconnect the battery. Take the starter out first. So we just set the starter off to the side here, and that'll give us a little more room to come in. We'll get the one from the front side here. And there's one more right here. You see the head coming through. Get that one out. So we're gonna stop on the bell housing bolts. We don't wanna get the tranny too floppy in there. So now we have our cooler. So we're gonna take our whole assembly off of the transmission here. So we have 3 10 millimeters is what we're gonna take off. So we got one up here, one there, and one here. So this way, you don't have to deal with draining the coolant or anything. All we're gonna deal with is tranny fluid. So it goes in right here. We have 2 O-rings and the lines go into the case. So I'm gonna just have a rag in case we have a crazy amount come out. Hopefully not. Hopefully most of the fluid drained into the transmission. But we wanna try to catch as much as possible. And it's gonna be a lot-ish. It's a lot-ish more than I want it to be-ish. Problem is we don't have any space for a pan. I think we have enough slack here. We're just gonna let them sit right there and deal with the leaking for a minute. So in order to access the bolts for the torque converter, you have to remove this lower little brace here. So we have 2 15 millimeters on this side and 2 15 millimeters on the driver's side. And make sure you hold it. So now I'm gonna use a socket and ratchet to put on the crankshaft in order to turn the engine over to get to all the converter bolts. So you always want to spin the engine in the way of rotation. So we're going to go clockwise. So we're going to snake this up in here, put it on the dampener bolt. So now that we spun it in a position where we can get on our 2 13s right here, we can sneak in our little ratchet. Now I need to turn the engine over to get to the next set of 2 13s. So now we have the last 2 bell housing bolts. There's one right here and one right here. They're both 15 millimeter. I want to get the harder one first, the one that's harder to reach. So I'm just going to come up with my ratchet, get on it. Now I'm going to get the last bell housing bolt. I want to watch the transmission as I come apart. I do have it on the jack in case anything crazy happens. I like to hold on to the transmission just so I can feel it. So we get the last bell housing bolt. One last thing that I have on this side here is it looks like the vent is attached to. Actually, I'm going to pull that vent off because the vent's going to stay in the truck. Got the vent off of there. And then we have one bracket up here that it has O2s were on there. So I'm going to come up with the 13 millimeter. Try to watch out here. We've got the fuel lines right here and the brackets for the fuel lines go over where the last 2 bell housing bolts I just took out. So I'm going to try to pick that bracket up and put it over the bell housing here to get it started. So when I come apart, it's not fighting me. So it looks like we got everything free. This here we got to keep an eye on as we come out. We're going to try to move the tranny to the passenger side as we come down to give room for the cooler. But then we got to watch this here because we got to come back and not catch the lines here. So it's going to be a little bit of wiggling. So I'm going to come to the back of the tranny here. I like to hold it and feel it, and then I can look at the same time. So we got it free. So we're going to pull it off the dowel pins, come back a little bit. The side's off the dowel. Looks like this side is off the dowel pin as well. So we're gonna come down a hair. So there you have it. That's how we get the transmission removed. It's a little bit of a challenge because the water lines, the coolant goes over the top, and then the transmission cooler lines go over the bottom. I think this is an easier process to deal with than it is to drain the coolant in order to take these two lines off to move it over. Now we're gonna get this swapped out. This is the one we just pulled. We're gonna get it flipped for the one that we just got, and we're gonna get it back together. We got the transmission reinstalled in the reversed order that we took it out. Once we got the transmission installed, we installed the transfer case. Be careful with the transfer case if you're doing it by yourself. It is kind of awkward and heavy. It might not be a bad idea to have two people, especially if you're on your back. It could be really difficult. We went to put training fluid in it because you want to fill it before you start it and then recheck it once it's running. So as we were filling it, we started having a leak, and then we noticed that the transmission pan is plastic and it got damaged in shipping. So we had to swap the pan with the tranny that was in it. So we got it swapped, filled it up again. It was easier to fill it and then put the exhaust on it. Got the exhaust all put on, welded the spot of the U-clamp that broke, and then welded it where we cut it. Got the exhaust put back on it. We started it and then filled it as it was running, got up to temperature. You check it at temperature, put it in neutral, stop the tires, reverse, stop the tires, put it in park, lifted it up, level, double check the fluid level. You gotta be careful if you drive it off the ground, an unloaded tire will explode at lower speeds, so don't run it too fast if you're gonna run it tires off the ground. We got the battery hooked back up. So we got the truck all finished up now, so we're gonna take it out, give it a little spin. So make sure you like, share, subscribe, come back for the next how-to. Thank you.